Welcome to Furnace Book again. Today, let's look at how you cut a hole inside of a furnace. You have to edit that out. The easiest way that I've ever found, there's one of two ways. You take let's say this is our furnace, and we're going to, you have to cut a hole in the side of it for a return because they don't come with holes in the side of them. They come kind of like this. They have an outline for a hole. Try that again. Kind of like that, but it's not always the right size. Okay. So what I got in the habit of doing is two things. The first thing is to take a grinder and start a high-speed grinder with a thin curved blade. If you have one of those, you go from this side to this side with it, and then you cut up to the corner, but right there you stop, and then you cut from this corner, and then right there you stop, leaving a little corner in place. And then you do the same thing down here. You cut up from here, and then you cut, then you cut the other corner back to that corner. Then you cut from this corner back to here, and you just leave the corners in. Then you just take that high-speed grinder, go bzz, bzz, and then you cut the corners out later on. And the reason you don't cut the corners is so the metal doesn't bounce around and just cut you like crazy. A lot of people, they're not going to have the high-speed grinder with the thin curved blade. I mean, you can always buy one. They're relatively inexpensive right now, like $50, $60. So what you can do though is you take a screwdriver and put it at almost the angle that this pencil is on. I would have to say like a 45-degree angle, and you put it's the flat edge right here, and you take a hammer and you hit the screwdriver until it pierces the metal right here, and then you just keep hitting the screwdriver with the hammer, pounding it to this corner. And what you'll end up with is a thick line right here, that was the size of the screwdriver. And the reason we do that is because then we take the tin snips and then you just cut it this way, and then you cut it from here down, and then take that piece out, and then you cut it this way, and then cut it from here up or from here down, either way. But as long as you hit it with the screwdriver, what that does is it relieves the stress on the metal when you're cutting it, and it makes it a lot easier to cut it with a straight pair of tin snips. If you don't do this, you'll spend a good hour cutting this thing, maybe half an hour cutting this thing with a pair of tin snips. But as long as you take and make that line in the middle, then you'll have it made. Hope you're enjoying Furnace Book, and that's a tutorial on how to cut out the side return of a furnace.